Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Unexplained Archives, where you get your weekly dose of spooky or weird or strange. My name's Jamie Shea. I'm one of the hosts.
Hello, I am Jen Gatner, and Happy New Year,
Happy New Year! This is
2026.
woo! It's our first of the year
It is. This is the
officially.
time of year where I can't forget when I write the date to change the year to the next one. I'll be writing 2025 for the next 3 months
Well,
on it.
I just got into the habit of running 25. Now I got to change it. Like it took me half the year to change
Exactly.
it to
Like, oh,
25.
I was just getting used to that. Now I gotta change it all over again.
Yes, that's so funny. I was just telling someone, I'm like, dang it, I just got used to writing 25. I can't, I know I swear every episode we talk about how fast time has flown, but here it is. I mean, here it is well into January of 26 already. And I'm just like, come on, slow down.
Time
Yeah.
is flying. Yeah, it certainly has. Well,
Yeah.
good, good. Did you bring in the new year on a happy note? Was everything good?
Yeah, everything is good. Everything is good. I'm happy that it's the new year. 25 was crazy in all kinds of ways. There were a lot of good things,
Hmm.
and then there were a lot of really crazy things that happened as well. So it was very nice to flip that over into a new year, and I'm excited. I think we've got some good things coming up, and yeah. So
Definitely.
no complaints. I had a very chill
Yeah.
New Year's though. Just yeah,
Hmm.
nothing. Didn't go out and party or anything. I think those days
Right.
are over. Yeah, but
Right.
but
It's
yeah,
that way, I think, a little bit, right?
yeah,
Yeah, I think it's safer. It was really snowing really bad here New Year's Eve. And so the weather was and the roads were not super great. So I know it was best to just kind of stay inside,
yeah,
I think. Hmm.
yeah. Hopefully there weren't a lot of people out, running around on the slick roads.
My
So
gosh, yeah, it was
yeah,
very slick. So yeah, it's better that way. You can still have fun.
yeah.
It's fun to watch. I watched the ball drop, right? I mean, that's
Oh, nice. I
you
haven't done
know,
that in a long time. That used to be part of the ritual, especially
yeah.
when I was a kid, because yeah, I'd
Hmm.
be home and like a lot of times my parents would go out and
Okay.
I was the oldest, so I'd hold down the fort and we would all watch the ball drop.
Yes.
That was part of it.
Yeah, we did the same. Mostly it was just my dad and I. So my mom worked midnights for gosh, most of my life. She worked the midnight shift. And so she would kind of almost volunteer to work New Year's Eve and things like that. So she pretty much always worked on New Year's Eve. So my dad and I would usually be at home and we'd stay up and watch the ball drop. And it was always, yeah. So I've got good
Yeah.
memories from that. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a fun memory.
Hmm.
Are you a resolution person?
I usually am.
Me
I
too.
really like I love New Year's and to me it always feels like a fresh start and normally I'll write stuff down too. I'll be like this is what I'm looking to do. I set goals and this year I didn't do any of that because it was like before I knew it, it was here and I don't know what it was. I just have not as prepared as I have been. So I would still kind of like to go back and do
Yeah.
that. Just
It's never too late.
I don't
Yeah.
think so either. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But normally I do. Do you?
I normally do too, but it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
I'm coming up like that last week of December. I feel like I was very introspective and kind of looking at, things I would want to change you know, but I never really wrote it down or really came to like this is my resolution. But
Hmm.
I feel like, and also I was like, I'm going to do a post and,
Yeah.
all this stuff. And I just never did. But I mean, it's still the new year and there's still time for that. And I do have things that I want to accomplish. And some of those are finishing some things I started in 25.
Right.
And so we'll start there. And,
Absolutely.
I mean, I have health goals,
Sure.
that I would like to accomplish. And then, I'm finishing up my hypnotherapy certification and,
Mhm.
I've got some, personal and some also like professional goals that I want to look at. But for the first time in a long time, I didn't like kind of make it official, you
Yeah,
know?
same.
So
Same.
yeah,
I like to do it's actually it's just fun for me towards the tail end of each year to
yeah,
I just feel like it helps me focus going into the new year. Now, I feel like now because I didn't do it, I feel like I will actually accomplish those things.
yeah,
Because in the past, I'm so organized about the list and everything, and I'm lucky if I get a couple things off the list. So
right.
this year, I feel since I'm just jumping in feet first to 2026.
Yep.
Everything I want to accomplish will now happen.
That's right. I agree. I agree. And maybe since we're not putting so much like official pressure
Uh,
on ourselves that, the things that are important will rise to the top and
Absolutely.
we'll get those things done.
Right,
So,
right,
yeah,
for sure. So yeah, I've decided the plan is to not have a plan.
there you go.
Just
Yes.
do it.
Fly by the seat of our pants year.
Exactly. Yeah. Wing it.
Wing it.
That's my theme for 2026.
There you go.
Just wing it.
And who knows, it might work out even better.
It might.
Yeah, I guess we will see. We will see. We'll be
Yeah, we'll
back
find out.
here.
Yeah, come
Yeah.
back in a year, everybody. We'll see how much we've accomplished.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we didn't say what those things were, so
Yeah, it could be
you'll never
anything.
know anyway.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
If you guys have New Year's resolutions, we would love to hear that too. That would be great. You can put that in the comments and let us know maybe some of the things that you guys want to do in 2026. I think that'd be fun to hear.
I
Maybe
do
it will
too.
inspire us.
Yes. 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 Or if you're winging it, tell us that too. We want to
Like, oh,
know.
we're joining the Jen and Jamie Wing It 2026
Yeah.
movement. And yeah, you could do that too.
Yeah. That's awesome. Oh, well, I've had kind of a calm week. Like nothing crazy has happened. What about you? How's your week been?
Yeah, wild. Yeah.
Wild? Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a lot. Like I can't believe the week has come to an end. You know, Hayden's dad and we split custody when it comes to Christmas break time here. This year I had him for the first week of Christmas. He had him for the second week of vacation. And so talk about writing things down and having big goals and dreams. So when he's gone, I'm kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna do so much stuff. There's gonna be so many things I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna, I mean, I had aspirations to like paint because if you're watching on YouTube, you can see behind me, like, I don't want this to be my backdrop for the show forever. Yeah, my eBay workspace is behind here. My computer, this is just where my computer is. This is how I record. And so my goal, we have an extra room upstairs, and I would like to kind of make it an office. So my dream was to paint and start that setup. And here we are. I get Hayden back tonight, and yeah, nothing. I did nothing.
I
I,
totally get that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've been seeing a chiropractor now for a couple of months. I don't remember if I've talked about it on the show or not. I did something really stupid a little over about a year and a half ago. I fell in the shower.
Oh
I
no.
literally like slipped. I was attempting to shave my legs in the shower. I slipped and catapulted myself like head first into the side of the shower.
Oh
And
my gosh.
oh my gosh, I had a lump on my head and my neck was just a mess. And I was avoiding doing anything for a long time, but it was causing headaches and I had neck pain. And so I was like, I got to do something. So I have been going to the chiropractor. I also get massages done on a regular basis too to try and help this. And so I had talked to the chiropractor about all my giant plans and goals for the week I had off. So when I went to see him this week, he's like, "Did you start painting?" I was like, "Nope." Sure didn't.
Nope.
Because he was like, he has the same thing. And he's like, I hate painting. I said, I hate painting too. I don't like painting rooms. I don't like it. I can't.
I'm not a fan either. Like I kind of like it in the beginning. I'll tell you what I don't like. is the details, like the trim, like making sure you don't get it on the baseboards and the
Yes.
ceiling and taping everything.
Hey,
And then I hate the cleanup.
I hate it.
Ah,
I hate
yeah,
it. I don't mind getting a brush, like a rolling brush,
yeah,
going to town. I can do that part, but it's yeah, the details, the making sure it's I just bleh, I don't want
I
to do it.
know.
And I
No,
could just move into that room now, but I'm not a huge fan of the color. And I know if I moved everything up there and I set
mhm.
everything up, I'm gonna be like, oh, I don't want to be in here with this color. So
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I know
What
I
color is it now? I'm just curious.
it's like a very it's like a yellowy white
Oh, okay.
color. Like I'm not a huge like even behind me, it's kind of I guess this is more of a tan, so this isn't so bad. The bathroom that is also through this door that you guys may see here is yellow. It's just a lot of yellowy.
Uh-huh.
It just doesn't
It's not relaxing.
I don't find it relaxing.
Yeah,
I have actually a purple color, like a very like light purple color. I would like to paint that room. So that's what I want to do. I don't know. I yeah.
yeah.
So my big goals like that didn't happen. But I did some other things. I did fun things too. I mean, I went to the movies. I saw the Stranger Things finale in the theater.
Oh, don't tell me I'm behind
Haven't
still.
seen. Okay, no
Nope.
spoilers. No spoilers, everybody. Yeah, I did go. I decided I wanted to see it, amongst the fans and, with the people. I
Yes,
know, it was released for 2 days only. I think it was New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. And I knew I could watch it on Netflix, but I don't know, it was
that's
pretty
exciting.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I had some passengers that also saw it in the theaters and they were so excited about it. And I was like, don't talk anymore. I'll get to it eventually,
Yeah.
but I'm not there yet. Yeah.
I kind of
So,
stayed off the internet too for a little bit because
yeah.
I did not want any spoilers on this one.
Yeah.
I wanted it. So it's weird. I really love the show. I know you're a big fan of the show,
Yes.
and it's hard. It's like you want to know what's happening. You can't wait to find out what's happening. But then I'm a little, I'm sad it's gone.
Sad. I know. Maybe that's part of the reason why I'm taking my
Yeah.
time with it because I know this is it. This is it. So I got to savor it,
Yes.
you know.
That's how
So,
I feel too. I totally understand that because it's but I've heard, there's already a spin-off
oh,
happening. It
okay.
sounds like an animated spin-off is coming.
Interesting. Okay.
And so, we have that. I mean, listen, I think it's a story that's, very much like Game of Thrones, where the story is so big, like you
Yeah.
can't just stop at that. I could see little things happening here and there for a while to come, which I think is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I saw there's another spin-off of Game of Thrones coming out too.
Yes, I just heard about
I
that as well.
I watched the trailer though, and it seemed like kind of comedic. They were really highlighting a lot of comedic moments in it, and I thought that was a little strange. But also, like if you think about it, House of Dragons was very flat. Like there wasn't that Tyrion comedy, like in because I mean Game of Thrones had I mean it was dark, it was heavy,
Mhm.
but there was also a lot of comedic moments in it, and I think House of Dragon didn't really have that. So maybe this one is kind of finding that balance. So I'll watch it when it comes
Yeah,
out,
yeah, that
see
would
what
be
it's all about.
that
Yeah.
would be funny if it was like a comedy, like the whole show is,
Yeah, exactly. Something different. But
right?
yeah. But anyway, I don't get quite as excited about that as I do Stranger Things, but it's still worthy of watching.
It
So
is. It is. It's good. It's good. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, so yeah, and that is the tough part, right? Being a single parent and you have this time. Like, what do you do with your time?
yeah,
I struggle with it because yes, I'm like, okay, there's so many projects I could get done. Not that Hayden is, it's not like he's a baby or anything like that, where, he can do stuff and I don't have to be watching him all the time. It's just kind of easier to start maybe bigger projects and things
yeah,
like that.
for
You just
sure.
feel like you got to utilize that free time in a way that's constructive, and I don't always do that. Sometimes I just like to blow it and just have a good time watching. My big thing is I try to watch um movies and television shows that I cannot watch when Hayden is around.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
All that in, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
all the stuff with all the sex and the violence and the swearing.
Uh-huh. There you
Get it in.
go.
Get it
Yep.
in.
Get it all in.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. So yeah. So I watched a lot of movies and TV and try to get that into and so yeah. So it's still been fun, but one of the big things I spent an entire day doing, and we've talked about on the show before. I've done some past life regression groups before, and so this week I actually did a one-on-one session, past life regression session. Um, and Jamie and I have kind of discussed how we're going to handle that talk because
Yeah.
before uh, we've done a whole episode on it, and that was just from a 2 hour group session, and ended up being a whole episode. I was with this person who did my past life for 8 hours. We were together for 8 hours, 9 to 5. I was there,
Wow.
and so a lot came out.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff.
Yes. I'm super interested in it. So we'll definitely have to put together something. And if you're wanting to talk about it, I think I don't know I don't know of anyone else that has gone through an 8 hour session. And so I think that's a very interesting thing to talk
Mhm.
about and share.
Yeah.
So,
So also, I've talked about my friend Mandy. She goes with me to the group sessions. She also this week, like this previous weekend, she also had a one-on-one session. We went to two different people. She went to the
oh,
first person we had the regression session with, and then I went to the second one we did, and her stuff was pretty fascinating. Let me double check with her because I would like maybe in the episode we talk about this. I'll
yeah.
double check and see how she feels about it because there were some things that were quite surprising that came out of
Wow.
the session of who she was in a previous life, and things that are affecting her in her life now that is kind of coming from these past
Huh.
lives. So I didn't necessarily find anything like that. I didn't find anything that had happened in the previous lives that are necessarily affecting me now. The one of the things I found that was interesting is not only do you deal with your past lives, but they will talk to your subconscious.
Yes.
And that is a very, I'm just going to say it, it's a weird thing.
I bet.
And this
Yeah.
show of weird. And even that, I was just like, that is weird for me. And I when Mandy had told me she had had it done and they talked to her subconscious, um, and the same thing, we did the same in my session. So my session was recorded and I got the opportunity to listen back to some of it. So when my subconscious was actually talking, like my voice changed.
That's wild to
It was a
me.
whole other voice coming out of my mouth. And
Ooh,
right, which is just that's bizarre.
that
Like
is bizarre. That is bizarre.
and a little scary when you go back to hear it. And so it's just kind of a creepy thing. And
Yeah.
you're there and you're aware of what's happening, but it's like suddenly you don't have control. You're not the one answering.
Oh,
A lot of it I had forgotten as it was happening, but we were able to play it back. And then she talked to me about it and had told me, because she asked a lot of questions to my subconscious and the answers that I had given, these were things that I didn't know, I didn't remember saying, or I wouldn't have thought to say or anything.
yeah.
It's pretty wild. Um, briefly, brief overview, and then, like I said, we'll probably dive into like a special episode or something about it. We'll put it out if you guys are interested in hearing. But yeah, I mean, I saw myself as a ball of light, like a
Wow.
light orb. I saw myself in the womb as a human. I saw myself as an animal of some kind. I couldn't quite tell what I was. I was a termite in a previous life, which I'll explain later, actually makes a lot of sense.
I can't
Yeah,
wait to
so
hear.
this was actually not shocking to me that I was a termite in a previous life. Um, I did see myself as a older man sheep farmer. which was really interesting to me.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, a lot of these, that's some of the lives that I touched on and found interesting. We've talked a lot here about my experiences, both regression sessions I've had before, where I talk about Bill, which was seems to be my previous life.
Right.
Bill was abducted by aliens,
Yes.
and and which come it came I was just me not expecting anything like that. So we did discuss Bill a little bit and to find out why, if I had died while I was in the spaceship, why did I die, why did I come back so quickly after that. So we dive into that as well. So it's a lot of fascinating stuff. We may even have Dana, the woman who did my regression. She says she would be interested in coming on the show sometime, so we could probably dive more into past life regression. But honestly, I kind of suggest it for people. I mean, it's just kind of a cool experience
Yeah.
to have. I do suggest starting if you can find any place around you that has the option of a group. I think that was a great way to start. It eases you into it because the whole concept is kind of mind blowing, and to just jump right into a one-on-one session might be a bit much at first. I don't know. I felt like with the group it kind of prepared me for what I might see. Um, a little bit. So I highly recommend it. I think it's pretty cool.
I am so fascinated by it, and I really can't wait till you expand on it more. And I think it would be awesome to have Dana as well,
Hmm.
either in the same episode or later on. I feel like there's a lot to it.
Hmm.
I'm terrified. Like I don't know why it just scares me, and
Yeah.
I don't know what to do about that. Like if I think definitely for me starting in a group would be the way to go for sure. But I don't know why it scares me.
Mhm.
I I don't know.
You just don't
But
know what you're gonna see. You don't
yeah,
know. I mean, honestly, I really thought when I was gonna do this that I could have seen myself as like a soldier in some war,
right.
or living in some castle long, long ago, or something like that. Alien abduction and being a bug was
Yeah,
not in the cards for like this just didn't
yeah.
cross my mind at all.
No.
So that's the that not knowing what's gonna come up or come out. Yeah, that's it's it can be
Yes.
scary, sure.
I know. I'm trying to think of what insect I feel a connection to of any kind. I'm wondering where that would go. I
Yeah,
mean, not that I would even be an insect, but you
sure.
just never know.
You can
Yeah.
literally have been anything. Like I said, like the first thing that I saw was being a ball of light. What does that
Yeah.
mean? What does that even mean? But it's kind of like that was like my beginning. Like that was the start, just being like a ball of energy, really.
Yeah.
And it was like nothing was changing. She kept talking to me and asking me these questions, like, "Do you see anything else? Are you alone?" And just eventually, I had to be like, "Listen, I think this is what I am. I am this ball of light."
Yeah.
Because it's all I could see where this was the color. It was like purple, but like this swirling black smokiness.
Yeah, that's
I could
interesting.
spin in my mind. I could kind of spin around in the circle, but it's not like I could stand up. I didn't have legs. I didn't.
Wow.
Who would have thought,
How fascinating. That is just all so fascinating
It's
to me.
totally is. And, Jamie, you've talked a little bit about what you're learning and doing hypnosis.
Yes,
I mean, so this is the type of stuff you could learn to do. You could do
exactly.
past
Yeah,
life regression with people.
I could. And I mean, that is advanced, so
Yeah.
that's something I would have to really work towards and
Hmm.
practice, but starting with, just basics.
Right.
But part of that is tapping into the subconscious,
Mhm.
and that's I'm just getting into
Sure.
that territory right now.
Right.
And it's just the mind is such a fascinating thing. It's just,
Crazy to me.
yes, it
Wow.
is.
Mhm. And the
I have to,
being able to have those memories of these things,
I
it's
know.
really interesting.
what else is in there? Like what is stored in there, you know? It's just wild.
Well,
Very
one
wild.
of the things that came out when we were talking with my subconscious was that I have lived 36 lives.
Wow.
And the thing is like I've only touched on a handful of those.
Right.
There's only been a few that I've gotten a glimpse of, and I keep thinking to myself, gosh, what are the others, Like
Yeah.
what are the other 30 some
Yeah.
lives? Yeah.
So how did that number come to be? I mean, how did she know that you've lived that many lives?
But she asked when I was under, and she was talking to my subconscious.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yes. Okay.
so my subconscious knew about that and had said I had lived 36 lives. She said 25 of those were on Earth.
Wow.
So
You're a traveler.
I guess so. So that means that there are other lives I've lived not on Earth, not on this planet, which doesn't that open up a whole other can of worms,
So,
right?
so much. Yes, that's so fascinating. Yeah.
It is.
I haven't my week was not quite that eventful, but I do have to tell a story.
Oh,
I was kind of stressed out, and so I just kind of wanted a reset. And I was in my car, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do like a 2 minute meditation, just
sure.
kind of reset. And so this all happened in 2 minutes. So I closed my eyes. I'm like listening to it. It was a guided,
Yeah.
just a quick 2 minute reset.
Mhm.
And as I was in this meditation, I'm in my car and my mind, another version of me,
Okay.
okay,
Hmm.
pops down upside down like Spider-Man from the windshield, okay,
Okay.
and hands me a wad of money. It was like the outfit I was wearing, the same hat, but
Wow.
upside down like Spider-Man,
Okay.
hands me money, and then I wake up. Isn't that
Wow.
weird?
Wow. I
Like,
bet, I think
okay,
that must mean something.
I must. I don't. I
Jamie,
don't
you're getting
know.
some money.
Yeah, and this, I
Yeah.
mean, this was like in 2 minutes, a 2 minute meditation. That's where my mind
Wow.
went. What
Wow.
the whole day I was like, what does that mean? What
Right.
does that mean?
Right. That's amazing.
So I
Okay.
was like, does that mean that it's on me? It's up to me? You know what I mean? Or I've got this, or like, I don't know. I don't know what it means. If
That's
anybody
so interesting.
can help me, break that down and give it meaning, let me know. But yeah, that was it. It
Yeah.
was really wild. I can picture it perfectly in
Hmm.
my mind. It
Hmm.
was so weird. But why upside down? Why the Spider-Man drop? Like what is that?
Fascinating. That is so interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. Well, a couple weeks back we had our guest Rachel on giving her story of, her ghostly experiences.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because Rachel had reached out to me about past life regressions because she had listened to one of the episode about
Hmm.
it. And she was asking me, I said, well, it's funny that you said something because I just did it again and just got even more info
Yeah,
on that. So, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, I wasn't expecting to get the answers that I did, but
that's amazing.
it's still kind of cool. I mean, I don't know if anything I saw necessarily taught me anything about, anything I need to know or learn in this particular life or whatever the case may be, but I've been super interested in this whole situation with Bill and
Yes,
abduction and things like that, and so yeah, it gave me a little, I think maybe a little clarity on that. Yeah, I know one thing I noticed through a lot of my previous lives is what a loner I've been, throughout the
oh,
years.
interesting.
Yeah, so I don't know what that says, but I kind of noticed that because I do remember when she was talking me through the session, she would say things like, "Is anybody around you?" And even in group sessions, I was kind of jealous when people would be like, "Oh, I saw this person and this person. I recognize this person. They're in my life right now."
Huh.
I'm just like, man, I don't really see too many people around me. I did have one, and I can talk about that on the episode where there was somebody with me, and after thinking about it, I think I know who that person is in my life.
Yeah,
At present time. but most of the time I'm just kind of this like loner. So I don't know.
Ah, that's
What
really
is
so much to learn and explore.
mm-hmm,
Do you
mm-hmm.
think you would do it again?
I kind of want to do it again.
Yeah.
If I can be honest, I was getting the impression from Dana that, you know, I think so the one thing that had, so my voice had changed when I was trying to
Right.
subconscious. That was, I don't know how many times that had happened with her. So she found that to be like her mind was blown after
Oh,
that. She was like, that was incredible because of that. So I think there's things that she would like to explore more with
yeah.
that, and some other things. So I think she would kind of like for me to come back
Yes.
again. So yeah, I thought, I'll give it a minute here and, see down the road how it goes. But I'm glad I did it. I think it was really interesting.
Yes. I can't. I definitely want to hear all about it. We
Mhm.
got it. We got to do just a whole episode on it. That's my vote.
Okay, all right,
My
good.
vote on it.
All right,
Yeah.
good.
That's awesome. Well, cool. Well, today where our topic today, where it came from, was I was just kind of thinking about if there were any big stories from 2025, because we've talked a lot about historical hauntings and,
Yes.
things that, have happened, in the all the way back from the 1800s, the, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. So I was like, what's going on in 2025? So I was just kind of started looking, and a lot of the stories that I found, they actually came from another podcast.
Okay.
Um, and it's called Real Ghost Stories Online. It's a podcast. They go through Audio Boom,
Mm,
which I learned a little bit about that too.
okay.
But one of the patterns that I've seen was talking about basically in the witching hour. So, uh, there's different definitions of the witching hour, and we'll kind of, get into that later. But one of the stories that stood out to me was there's a college girl that was haunted at the same exact time, 2:47 a.m.
Mm.
every night,
Oh.
on the dot, 2:47 a.m. So we're going to talk about that today,
Oh,
and then kind of talk about the witching hour, because that is huge in the paranormal world.
sure.
And, I hadn't really thought about it as, just the overall, like, why,
Mhm.
why that time, you know, a lot of things that have happened to me personally have been in that, window of time
Sure.
in the middle of the night. What about you?
Yeah, definitely. I would say not even that long ago, maybe within the last year, there was a period of time where I was always waking up around 3:30.
Uh-huh.
I was awake
Yep.
for like 2 hours.
Yep.
Couldn't go back to sleep. And I just thought, what is going on here?
Yes.
What does that mean? And it was constant. And so
Yep.
eventually it stopped, which was good. But yeah, it was like, why is this
Yeah.
happening?
Why is it a thing? Why is the witching hour a thing?
Right.
I do want to do just a little bit of a kind of a disclaimer. So before we start, some of the stories that I'll talk about today came from documented listener submitted accounts, and we get those as well.
Yeah.
These people did not want their names shared publicly on that platform, and so, we're gonna, respect that and keep the names withheld. But really, we're not really talking about like proving one particular case, but what I wanted to talk about is that pattern of
Yes.
waking up and why it's a thing, every night without fail at the same time, not around that time in this particular first story, but at that exact time. Like, what is that,
Right.
So 2:47 a.m. is when this happened.
Yes.
So the first story is nightly hauntings at 2:47 a.m. This account comes from Real Ghost Stories Online. It's shared through their audio boom like player feed. The title of it was Nightly Hauntings at 2:47 a.m.
Okay.
According to this account, The witness was a college student. She was living in an off-campus rental house. She had roommates. There was nothing unusual about the house, no, history of it being haunted, nothing, stands out about this house. Just a regular college house rental. No rumors of it being haunted or anything else ever happening in this house, just a normal place where busy college students were living their lives. But then one night, the student woke up suddenly. There wasn't a nightmare, no sounds that, like startled her awake. She checked the time, 2:47 a.m. But then she started hearing a low humming sound. Wasn't loud and not really a mechanical sound, just this hum that she couldn't figure out where it was coming from.
Okay.
So at first it seemed distant, like it was, kind of far away, like maybe it was the AC unit or, pipes or maybe coming from a neighbor's place. It was that distant,
Okay.
right? But then the next night it happened again. Same abrupt awakening at the same exact time, 2:47 a.m. on the
Okay.
dot. And this time, the humming seemed closer. So that detail matters because over the next several nights, the exact same thing happened, except for the sound didn't change. It didn't get louder, but it seemed closer, like it was
Okay.
moving closer and closer
Interesting. Okay.
each night. Yeah, it's very strange. So it was like it was almost moving slowly through the house towards the bedroom door.
Okay.
Then something else happened that was a little harder to explain. On the next occasion, the student reported hearing the front door open
Ugh.
during the night.
Okay.
The next morning, I mean, like, she was too scared to get up and check it at that time, but the next morning was locked. Nothing was open, nothing had changed.
Okay.
Eventually, she started talking to the roommates.
Mhm.
And then this is where the story gets a little weirder. The roommates admitted that they had also been hearing unexplained noises at that exact same time at night.
Okay.
So another roommate described waking up, unable to move, and
Okay.
feeling like someone was sitting at the edge of the bed. So
Hmm.
they felt the mattress dip down, the weight.
Sure.
Yeah, I think I've felt that before.
Yes, I have
You
as
have
well.
too. Yeah. But then it was gone.
Okay. Yeah.
So no footsteps were heard, no door opening, nothing was seen. There was no visual images. But as the weeks went on, of course, no one was sleeping well because they
Right.
were
Yeah, of
afraid of
course.
what was going on at night.
Yes, I
Um,
understand.
yeah. And so the house, was kind of tense and quiet. Everyone was kind of waiting for something to happen. No one really wanted to talk about it or acknowledge it. But eventually, the student moved out.
Okay.
And according to this account, that was it. When she left, she was no longer waking up at 2:47. Nothing else happened. It completely stopped.
Okay.
And I just think that's so weird. Why?
Yeah.
Why 2:47 a.m., not just one person, but everybody in that house. So it's almost like that period of time had something attached to it,
Sure.
you know?
Mhm.
Um, then there was another story. This one they called the Watched Hour. It's another short account, also from Real Ghost Stories online. These were all 2025 submissions, by the way. So this describes a woman who began waking nightly between 3 and 3:30 a.m. So not exactly on the dot. Um,
That's what I was having. Yeah.
yeah,
3:30. Yeah.
yeah. So she didn't hear anything at first, but she just knew she had a feeling she wasn't alone.
Okay.
Wake up, felt like there was another presence there. This happened several nights in a row. She reported the overwhelming sensation of being watched.
Mhm.
Then she started hearing the sound of footsteps, and they would stop just outside her bedroom door. Again, one night, another example of feeling pressure on the mattress, like someone sat down beside her on the bed. She could move, like it wasn't sleep paralysis, um, but she didn't because she was scared, you know? So it was like she could move, but she was too scared to move.
Sure.
She was afraid that if she acknowledged it, it would just make it worse, you know? So, but then she moved and the experiences stopped. So it's another, is it attached to the place? Is it attached to this time frame?
Right.
What is it, right?
Mhm.
Story number three, the consistent time. In another 2025 account, describes a man who began waking up at 3:12 a.m.
Mhm.
every night. So no sounds, no visions, just startled awake at 3:12. Just felt like something had pulled him out of sleep, like just suddenly awake. But in his case, he learned that the previous tenant of his apartment had died in the unit and had been discovered around that time.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So that's what he kind of linked his story to. But these
Okay.
are three different people, three different places,
Mhm.
different details, but all in that same window of time.
Right.
So this kind of raises the question, why does this keep happening in the early morning hours?
Sure.
Reddit, YouTube, I mean, just anywhere you look online, it's full of stories around this time window.
Okay.
We've even, some stories that we've covered on our podcast. This probably sounds familiar because the Perrin family, the Enfield poltergeist, all of these involved instances happening between 1 and 4 a.m. Okay. And we're not recovering those, but if you step back and ask, why this hour, this period of time in the middle of the night, which has been labeled the witching hour. Why? Why? Okay. So the witching hour sometimes is called the devil's hour. It's a term used in folklore to describe a period of night believed to be especially associated with supernatural activity. And there's been a lot of, media and movies that are around this, like Paranormal Activity is one that's big on this period of time,
True. Mm-hmm.
right? There's even, I think, a film called The Witching Hour from like the 20s, I want to
Oh,
say.
okay. All right.
Yeah, let me look it up real quick and make sure I'm not wrong on that. Um, a 1921 American silent drama about the witching hour.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. Um, okay, so according to the article on Wikipedia, the definitions of the witching hour kind of vary.
Hmm.
Some traditions place it immediately after midnight,
Okay.
but many, especially modern folklore, define it as kind of the window between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m., that's how I've known it, is
Yeah,
like I
same.
always thought 3 a.m. was the witching hour.
Yes.
But this belief also kind of differs across cultures and centuries. It's changed. But the fact that it's like it goes way back in history. I mean, long before there were alarm clocks or electricity, even before sleep studies were done, people feared the same stretch of night. That's so fascinating to me. Why?
Right.
Okay, so the phrase, the witching hour, kind of dates back to at least the 18th century. It was first appearing in print in 1762. It also closely is associated with Shakespeare's line in Hamlet, "'Tis now the very witching time of night." So it's not just a poetic thing. In Christian folklore, 3 a.m. was believed to mock the Holy Trinity.
Right.
So it was like an inversion of sacred time,
Sure.
right? In medieval Europe, it was thought to be when the witches cast their strongest spells and spirits were most likely to cross over during this time. So it was like a vulnerable time. The veil is thin
Gotcha.
during that hour, right? Monastic writings warned that this hour was spiritually dangerous, a time when vigilance mattered most. So you really were vulnerable during this time, and protection, extra protection was needed during this time.
Okay.
But again, different cultures, different explanations, but the same fear of that hour,
Right.
the night. So, what modern themes? So, people are reporting including a AI compiled cultural overview, show remarkably consistent themes tied to this hour. There have been people that have sensed presences, like in the stories that we talked about at the beginning. People have seen dark and shadowy figures during this time. Auditory disturbances like humming or whispering. Poltergeist style activities more active during this time. You know, things moving, electronics turning on, electronics glitching, lights flickering, all kinds of stuff. Heightened fear without like anything to really confirm it. And people aren't seeing anything. They just get that feeling like they woke up for a reason. There's somebody in the room. They're being watched. There's some kind of feeling of dread.
Yeah.
But these things, I mean, there's no proof of these things, but they're more just like repeated patterns that are reported throughout history from as far back as you can go.
Yeah. It's like this is not new.
No, it's not new. It's not new. Do you have any like theories on why?
Well, I mean, it's pretty much like everything you had kind of talked about. I mean, I feel like
Yeah,
there's some kind of in between, right, of all the
right.
different theories. Maybe there's a combination of some things. I mean, that's what I always kind of thought and always heard, 3
Yeah,
was like that time where things could
yeah,
happen. So I know when I was waking up between 3 and 3:30, I was like nothing bad happened. However,
right.
like it scared me that I was waking up because of all this, all these things,
Yes,
right? And so I thought, oh, why am I awake between this time? And why can't I go back to sleep? Like, I don't want to be awake right now. Like,
right.
I didn't want to know or see what was going on.
Yes, I know.
Hmm.
A lot of the things that I've gone through have happened at that
That time.
same window of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really wild.
Hmm.
Um, so scientifically, some things that are going on with the body at this hour, if you're looking at, someone that's sleeping in normal sleep pattern, right? Um, well, psychology and biology kind of intersect with folklore here. So, according to psychological literature summarized in the Wikipedia article, apparitional experiences and sensed presences are most commonly reported between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m.
Okay.
So this kind of coincides with a peak in melatonin production
Okay.
around 3 a.m. So our bodies naturally kind of produce more melatonin during that window of time
Okay.
in a normal night's sleep. But see, there's like who is sleeping normal hours these days? So I don't know.
Right.
Some other things that are going on, the core body temperature is lowest during this time. REM sleep is unstable. Heart rate and breathing fluctuate. The brain is highly suggestible during this time. So this makes like auditory hallucinations more likely, they say. The sensation of a presence more intense because of it, and then sudden awakenings more disorienting
Sure.
during this time. Science explains how these experiences can happen, but it doesn't explain why the stories line up so closely across centuries of time
Absolutely.
and cultures, different
Right.
cultures,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So it's not just happening in the US, it's happening everywhere.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, 247 is not necessarily in that 3 to 4 a.m. window, but I feel like it's close enough, it still
Right.
fits. It still fits.
Mhm.
It lives inside that same kind of biological and cultural window. It's
Mhm.
close enough to matter, and it feels kind of intentional. Why 247? So when multiple people across different places wake at nearly the same time, night after night, it kind of doesn't feel like a coincidence
Sure.
anymore,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
Um, so some theories, what's possibly happening? Is it sleep-related hallucinations
Mm.
that people are just having? Is it environmental factors like fatigue, that these things are amplified by fatigue?
Okay.
Is it, something psychological like priming, or is something actually imprinting itself on time? You know what I mean? In not space, but to that particular time.
Right.
So we don't know.
Right.
It's just so fascinating to me that there's hundreds and thousands of stories
Mhm.
during this time period. And so I just don't know. I mean, it's not really about ghosts. Like it's about, I feel like in all of these cases, that's when you're vulnerable. And we've talked about just being asleep,
Yes.
is a vulnerable time for these things to happen. But
Mhm.
it seems like there's something about that period of time called the witching hour that makes us more vulnerable to this type of phenomenon.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
yeah,
So I kind of can't help but think about, we've done stories on sleep paralysis and things like that, and the things that people see. So what strikes me about the things that you're talking about, this is not just a couple cases. It's the same with the sleep paralysis, just not like a couple stories you've heard.
right.
These are incidents that people are things that people are experiencing, like you said, all over the world. It doesn't, there's no rhyme or reason, who you are, what you do for a living, how old you are. Like these are things that are happening and it seems to be unified. People are seeing the same things, experiencing the same things. Like,
Yeah.
so I'm sorry when I hear stuff like that, I can't believe this is some coincidence.
No.
But it's really hard because it's like, what is it that is causing it then? What is that thing? And why is
Yeah.
it happening to certain people? Why doesn't it happen to everybody? What is that about? And these are things we may never know or understand.
Right.
I just have a hard time believing that this is a coincidence.
I agree.
Mhm.
I agree. There's something, and I mean, I agree with some of the science, the scientific explanations. Like, yes, we are the most vulnerable, but why does that seem to be an attack? It's almost like the witching hour is the ghost. You know what I mean? It's like it's almost like it's its own character almost. Do you
Yes,
know?
I do. Yes.
And I don't know. I've just the more I looked into it, in almost every single story we've covered, almost all the famous ones, the Bell Witch, the Parents, the Conjuring and Insidious and Paranormal Activity, all of these have to do with the witching hour. And so many of those are based on true stories, true
Right.
events, you
Right.
know?
Yes.
Um, so whatever is waking us during that hour, imagined or not, it's happening and it's been going on for a really long time.
Right.
So have you, I mean, I know you have, but does anything stand out? Did anything major? Did you see anything or hear anything or, when you woke up during that time period, like what was happening?
Sure. Well, it's one of those things like I'm not isn't it funny when you wake up, you're like, what is the thing that just woke me
What
up?
is it? Yeah, what is it?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
you talk about being startled awake and it's like what is it that did that to me, so
right.
it's kind of confusing. Now I will say, and it's hard. We're on episode what 47 or 48 here. We've
Yeah.
not gone a year, and my problem is like I don't remember what I've shared with you guys. So my apologies if I share the same story again. I
No,
have to
same.
see what
I'm
it
in the
looks
same
like
boat.
years from now. They're gonna be like, "All right, enough, Jen. We've heard this story a million times." Here we go. I'm like, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know how much I shared as when I was a child. I feel like there was a lot of the things that we've talked about when it comes to sleep. I feel like I experienced a lot as a child, sleep paralysis,
Hmm.
having more like out of body experiences happened to me in early childhood as well. And so I think there were quite a few times that I would wake up at around this time when I was a child. And so some of the things, that's when I would see a lot of things. I would actually have what I would consider spirits like waking me up
Right.
during
Yeah.
that time as a child. So I would see these things as a solid, person, but clearly
Right.
looking back as a grown up, and I have very clear memories of these things, they weren't. And one in particular was a woman who was dressed in very old-fashioned clothing, a very high collared, blouse and long
Mm.
skirt, and her hair is pulled up. And so she wasn't of our time. And I don't know why I wasn't even alarmed that somebody was like in our house
Right.
in the middle of the night
Yeah.
waking me up, right?
Right.
I do remember things like that. I wish I could remember our conversation because we were definitely having conversation. She would actually get me up and out of bed, and we would like step outside into the hallway.
Wow.
It was like a two-story home, and
Yeah.
so my parents' room. I mean, I remember her standing in front of my parents' bedroom door. It wasn't a lot of space upstairs, just standing there. But I remember looking up at her, like, and her talking to
Wow.
me about stuff. And I'd give anything to remember what it is that she was talking to me about. But my point is that a lot of these things, I can guarantee you, were happening during these times of night where my parents are
Yeah.
completely asleep, so they're not hearing
Right.
me at all. They're in a deep sleep.
Hmm.
But all of these things were happening, during the time that I was sleeping. And I can remember it very clearly. I remember telling my parents about these things. And I asked them later as an adult, do you remember me talking to you about this? And they're like, oh, yeah, we remember you telling us, but we just kind of, and they did. They were like, okay, that's nice. Kind of, they said,
Yeah.
just assumed you had imaginary friends. And I remember talking to them. I was probably in my 20s and I was like, they weren't imaginary. Like this stuff was really happening. And they always made
Right.
me feel okay about it. They were never like, you're crazy. Or
Right.
growing up, my family are big believers in the paranormal. They're just very open-minded people. And so they never made me feel strange about what had happened. If anything, they were kind of fascinated by it. But um, I believe that, especially in my childhood, yes, I was definitely seeing things and talking with things and having more of these paranormal experiences during that time. It was always when I was asleep.
Yep.
So, yeah, so why then? I mean, part of me
Yeah.
feels like maybe the spirits are talking because you're kind of in a different way of thinking and you are a little more, I mean,
Open
yeah,
and
maybe a little more
vulnerable.
open to things. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Right.
they came up and just started talking
Yeah.
to you at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and
Right.
trying to convey a message, or, and people have had out of body experiences all times of the day. I just know
True.
anytime I did, um, it was happening while I was asleep, but I could see everything happening. And
Yeah.
people will think, oh, she was dreaming, she was little, she's imagining, but it's one of those, I feel very confident about what had happened during that time. I don't think
Yep.
anyone else could convince me otherwise.
No.
So, but I will say, yes, those experiences most definitely happened. I guarantee you during that time of night.
Yeah. And that's the same for me. Any like my sleep paralysis that we've talked about,
Yes,
I'm seeing, the old hag, I'm gonna
yes,
call her the old hag,
yes.
definitely during that window of time. My brother in that same house
Mhm.
when I was a kid, he would sleepwalk, and it was always during like 3 o'clock in the morning,
Wow.
3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in that window of time
Yes.
every time. And he would say he had there was something on his pillow, like
Hmm.
he would report little people on his pillow, or
Okay.
and he was young, he was probably 5 or 6
Okay.
years old, always around 3 o'clock, four
Hmm.
o'clock in the morning. When Bridger had the reports of his toys, going off the electronics, all that stuff in his room in the house in Lamar,
Yeah.
always during that time.
Okay. Yeah.
We would get the knocks on the wall during that time.
Sure. Okay.
So that brings me to another question. What is up with three? 3 a.m., the three knocks, like the mocking, is it all tied into the mocking of the Holy Trinity?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it, yeah,
I don't know. It's part of me, for the longest time, that's exactly what I believed. I thought that's what this has to be. But part of me is kind of like, well, a lot of these things I know with my personal experiences don't necessarily feel evil. Because, right, that's what it's really
right,
saying. If you're mocking the Trinity, then you're
right,
the opposite of that. We're
exactly.
dealing with real evil here. Um, and I don't necessarily always feel that now. I mean, it certainly could be happening. I'm not saying that that isn't a sign at times.
It could be part of it, but maybe not all of it.
Right. I mean, there
Yeah,
might be something more to it just because I don't feel like every experience I've had has been a super scary one. The woman who was coming to me, I don't think that that was bad at all. I really
right.
think she was just a spirit trying to communicate something. And
Yeah.
boy, I would give anything to know what maybe that's what I need to do in my
Yes.
next past life regression session is
That's what
figure
I
out
was
if we can go
thinking.
back to what was she trying to tell me.
Right. Wouldn't
Uh,
that be cool if
it
you
would be
could
pretty cool. Oh,
tap into
I would
that?
love that. I would love that because it's like I can see it clear as day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just her pulling me out. She wanted me to get out of bed, but for some reason she had to tell me whatever it is she wanted to tell me. Had to be in the hallway. Sometimes she would sit by my bed and talk to me about stuff, but for the life of me, can't remember. But I was probably like 3, 4 years old when this was happening. So
Yeah.
I'm impressed. I remember any of it because I couldn't even tell you what I did yesterday.
I know. I'm the same way. Now all the days blend in together. It's so
Yeah,
crazy. One big day.
it is
Yeah,
what I did. Yeah.
I
Christmas,
know.
Christmas, holiday time, New Year's time, all that holiday that it's a wash. Who knows what day
It's a
it is?
wash.
No one knows.
Yeah. No one knows. It's all one big blob. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
But yeah, so after I was reading, all those stories and just 3 a.m., 2:47 a.m.,
Mhm.
3:13 a.m., I'm just like, I
Right.
just I just want to know why. I
Right.
wish if there's someone out there that has more insight on this, this is one of those things I would love a
Hmm.
little more explanation. But it's not just that, also rituals, in witchcraft
Yes.
were also planned around this time
Yes.
as well. So it kind of, works both ways. So it's
Mm-hmm.
when people are visited, and it's also when things are initiated in you know, on the other side of the spectrum.
Right, right. Yeah, I think
So,
it's possible it could have significance to different groups of people for any particular reason,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah. It's certainly fascinating to figure out why, but like you said, it may not necessarily be the one thing either.
exactly. Because all of these are, different people, different places, different cultures, you know. It's not 3 a.m. here, but 7 a.m. in Australia, or you know what I mean? Like it's
Right.
whatever time zone we're in, that particular time of night is significant.
Yes, exactly. That didn't even occur to me. Like all the different time zones you're in, it's
Right.
different for everybody. Yeah. So like, what is that? What does it all
Yeah,
mean? Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. But
Once again.
anyway, so that was my rabbit hole for the
Oh,
week.
sure. Yeah, I get that completely. You could still be diving into
Oh
that
yeah,
hole
100%.
for
Yep.
time for so long because yeah, it's just really interesting and because there's probably no one definitive answer. So it's
No,
something we could talk about for a long time.
yeah. And when I started looking at more stories, I got a little overwhelmed because like I opened up YouTube, I'm like 3 a.m.,
Yeah,
stories about 3 a.m. and it's just hundreds. You could just go on and on and on and on.
yeah,
So,
absolutely. Yeah.
and I wonder if, is it one of those things where that's what's in our subconscious? You know what I mean? So we're going to wake up, during that time, but I really don't think so
Right.
because I feel like, like cliches happen for a reason. These kind of stories get passed down,
Mm.
through culture for a reason. So,
So interesting. Yeah.
yeah. So if anybody has any witching hour stories or any stories between like the hours of 2 and 4 a.m. that you would like to share with us,
Right.
or any ideas of why these things happen during that time, we would love to hear from you.
Yeah, let us know. You can write in the comment section or you can reach out to our email, which is unexplainedarchives2025@gmail.com. That email address will confuse me for years to come. I even when I made it, I thought, oh boy, but I like this. It's the year we began. And
That's right.
yes, yeah. But stay with me, folks, because here down the road, I'm going to be like, wait a minute, was it 2026? What's our email address? Yeah.
We'll always know when we started
That's
because
exactly
of
what
the
my
email.
thinking is behind it. Yeah, we'll always
Yeah,
remember the year we started. But
that's right.
yeah, and everybody, the offer is still open for your free mug to our Spotify listeners who made us their number one. There are 23 of you. I've had 20, there's 22 left of you out there who've
Oh,
not
yeah.
claimed your prize. So yeah, please reach out, email us, show us your end of the year review showing that we were your number one podcast, and we'll send you a little something. It'll be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Email us and we will get it to you. And you can also check out our social media. We are back on Facebook, we are on TikTok, and we are on Instagram, which we post daily on. And if you have a story of your own, like I said, you can email us at unexplainedarchives2025@gmail.com. Don't forget to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and we will see you back here next week.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Happy New
Keep
Year,
it coming.
everybody.
Happy New Year.
Bye.
Bye.